Hey, this is Jukka from Omnium Gatherum, and you're watching GRIMM TV.
Really nice to meet you again.
Yes, you too.
It's been a moment.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Well, today's been interview day. Usually we do, like nowadays, it's the style we do a lot of Zooms. But today we went to Finnish Radio Rock and we did Chaos Sign and a couple of other interviews. And now I'm here with you, GRIMM Gent, on GRIMM TV. So it's been a busy day.
Busy but good.
Yeah.
Well, we're basically here to talk about your upcoming new album with Omnium Gatherum. I did a quick count. This is basically like 10th album.
Yep.
And next year, I believe it's about 30 years of Omnium Gatherum already.
It is exactly. It's quite something if you start to think about it. Really, 10 albums, 30 years. Okay, I can live with that. I personally haven't been in the band 30 years, but next year it will be my 20th anniversary in the band. So
That's already plenty.
Exactly, but it's been good. We love to do this, so why not?
And if you when you kind of take a breath, take a step back, and kind of look back, what does it kind of mean for you personally that Omnium Gatherum is basically still here, still evolving, still hungry?
Well, of course it means a lot. I never imagined myself as a person to really have a career on anything. I've been always been free spirit in that sense that, just take things as they come and stuff like that. But for OG, like I said, it's been 20 years, so we can consider that a career really. And of course we are happy to still be here, happy to release new music, and of course really, really happy to play this music live, which for me personally is the most important thing.
Yeah, of course. And well, like we already mentioned, you have a new album coming with the lengthy title "May the Bridges We Burn Light the Way."
Exactly.
It feels both very kind of poetic and maybe defiant at the same time. What when that phrase kind of came to you, what kind of sparked it for you in your mind, and how did it kind of shape the lyrics that you wrote and the whole meaning for the album?
Well, that's the funny thing, because this is the first title that I did not come up with. It was actually Marcus came up with it. But that's cool because he's the founding member of Omnium Gatherum, and I think for the 10th album, X marks the spot in a way, and it was really a due time for Marcus to come up with the album title. I think he kind of deserves that, if that is something that someone is proud of, and he should be. It's a good title, and to let it go by accident, it really, really suits the album lyrics, because we have a loose theme here, like a street kind of vibe, like a street bird kind of thing going on, like stories from the streets. So that title itself really, really ties up the songs. At least I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does feel like, I don't know, in a sense it could be about sort of letting go of the past, but at the same time kind of creating a new future. Is that in a sense something you see for OG, how the band is right now? Is it closing a chapter? And
in a way, of course, it's kind of like a turn of the tide in a sense, because nothing major has happened in the band negatively.
Yeah.
of course, we have had some lineup changes, like always. That's the Omnium Gatherum story. We have some lineup changes going on, but still, the main crew is there, and we're still making a new music. We are still enthusiastic about it, and of course, if you wanna create something like with the free spirit in a sense, you have to let go of the past. You have to let go of you have to remember the good things about the past, but still you also have to let go about those too, and to be able to be fresh.
Like you mentioned, like the songs are basically stories from the street. So if I also listen to the music on this album, it feels like you're going maybe a little bit more back to basics, like sort of keeping it simple and like true.
Yeah, in a way, I stay behind every last OG album that I've been with, of course, but this really is like we dug up some things about maybe not each and every album from before, but this kind of stuff, and we like to make it more like Origin. The last album before this, it was more like a mid-tempo thing, and now we just wanted to just hit the gas and make straightforward songs with a lot of melodies that OG is always known for, but still it is at the same time connecting to the future of the band and to the future possibilities, but at the same time it's a homage to the past, of course, because back in the day, for example, before my time, OG had these progressive elements, but it still was more straightforward. Like if you go back to the demo days, certainly with those, it is just like this. And of course we are making new music and breaking new boundaries for OG in music, but still there is a certain style that we want to hang on to, and this is reaching for that stage when we can really combine those two things.
No, I just mean with your last couple of albums, there was this kind of element of almost 80s stadium rock kind of mixed in it. And I feel like on this album that was kind of reined back a little bit, and it feels more like the kind of straightforward melodic death metal, what OG is known for, and
yeah, for sure. Especially like I mentioned before, Origin was kind of aiming for those kind of vibes in a sense, and now when we look at from retrospect, it is something that we are proud of, but we really want to continue to still make that straightforward melodic death metal that OG is known for. And with this album, I'm really looking forward to playing these songs live. It's gonna be great. They are what metal is in my opinion supposed to be, for metalheads to enjoy live.
Yeah, and since we're on the topic, are there any songs of this album that you're personally really looking forward to play live, to see what the reactions are going to be live?
Well, I really am looking forward to say, for example, the song Barricades and Ignite the Flame and My Pain, those three songs. Maybe Darkest City also, they are really my personal favorites. And as for people who want to attend our shows, I'm really looking forward to a reaction that they have when we play Walking Ghostface, which is that is as much a straightforward thing that OG has basically done. So, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to hear those live too, or to see what it gives live. I've been listening to the album today a bit during work, and yeah, like I said before, it's very straightforward, but still really heavy on the melodies, but it's just, I don't know, it tickles that thing that made me love melodic death metal so much. So
yeah.
I read that Markus mentioned that it kind of was until he figured out the darkest city. That he had like before that like a little bit of inspiration issues, so to say. I was kind of wondering if you had like a little bit of a similar thing where like something of the new album like sort of sparked you lyrically or like get that creative juice flowing.
well, in a sense, yeah. Well, when I get to the zone, I really don't have any issues of like going forward with the lyrical concepts that I have in mind. But for this, it was a different thing because there is a loose theme of streets and street vibes and stories from the streets kind of thing going on with this album. So I had to think about the lyrics and my way of writing from a new perspective, which was at the same time really challenging, but it still like gave me an opportunity to tell stories, which was before not my way of coming up with lyrics for the songs. So in that sense, I'm really glad that we chose this path, in a sense that it gave me an opportunity to grow as a lyricist, as a writer.
Yeah, challenged you basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's like, in a sense, like kind of characters that you can like find back throughout the album.
Yeah.
I was just kind of wondering, like you have was it dreamers, liars, wanderers? Are there any like, I don't know, real life characters or something that kind of inspired those? Or
Well, not exactly, but basically, I think subconsciously I was thinking about a couple of people for sure, and I was thinking about a couple of places for sure. Like for example, the song I mentioned before, "Walking Ghost Face," and the song is really about addiction and. Like in a different cities, like in the big cities around the world, you can really see in those places. Maybe some places where the venues are, there are a lot of people with addiction problems. They are walking around the streets, like kind of like aimlessly, ignored by normal people, and that really gave me an inspiration for those lyrics.
Now, one of the singles that you guys released, like was the Last Hero. I don't know. Somehow to me, it almost felt like a OG theme song.
Well, it can
in a sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it can come across as like a song about like ego and obsession.
In a way, yeah. It is about it is basically an ironic story about a character that has to control everything in a way. Like, you know, in for better or for the worse, you know, that's why he is called the last hero. And the hero is like here is where the irony really hits the things. Because it is not just someone who saves people or saves the day or something. It's more like, you know, did you really have to come again and save the day? Like, you know, there's that kind of like, you know, like Tina Turner said back in the day, we don't need another hero. So there's some relation to those kinds of things, which are, like you said, like, you know, those good guys can be really obsessed too about their goodness and about making a world a better place, at least for them.
And then if you don't in a sense go that deep into the lyrics, the thing that I was saying that it could be like an OG theme song would almost be like kind of the fact that OG has always been kind of around, kind of sometimes maybe fighting like an uphill battle, kind of being kind of underdog in that kind of melodic death metal scene. I mean, you're really well known within the scene, but it always feels like I don't know, you guys are maybe a little bit underappreciated sometimes compared to a lot of others.
Well, yeah. I've seen that too, and heard that's not the first time that I heard about this, but still, you can really see it like that also, and that is maybe something that someone really can rely on or hang on to in a way. Of course, in this sense, also for better or for worse. Yeah, but we don't mind. We still like to make the train move forward.
Like you mentioned already a couple of times, Walking Ghost Phase. Also, like The Darkest City, they all are kind of like about quite dark themes and quite stripped down about like ugliness that you see sometimes. But at the same time, the music that comes along with it often feels quite kind of almost uplifting. It just makes me wonder, like how do you find kind of that balance between like not going too dark and not going too like happy-go-lucky?
That's a really good question. I really don't know, but maybe it's just something about the band chemistry really also that creates this kind of vibe, and of course I want with my lyrics I've always balanced between the things that are maybe now like these lyrics are maybe close to the gray heavens kind of like theme when things got really dark in a sense, but there's also a lot of like silver linings on these lyrics too, although the topics themselves are a bit darker, and let's not forget that we are playing death metal, so so it's kind of like required also.
Now I read in the press text that for this album you've been working quite closely with Björn Strid on vocals aspect and such.
Yeah.
How did that dynamic kind of like push you creatively, and did something come like out of there that kind of surprised you?
Well, let's just start with that. Björn is just amazing. Like as a vocalist, both as a screamer and a normal singer, he's just great. And I've been loving his stuff since I was like, well, a young lad, in a sense, and I got to know him really well with these days that we made these songs and recorded, and he was a co-producer in the vocals, and well, he's a vocalist himself, so he understands the kind of like a different kinds of nuances that has to be done, and the right time to do something and the right time to not do something. So he really helped me with that, and he was also like, I was kind of like 98% ready when we entered the studio, so I was not expecting him, and he was not expecting us together to like rewrite the whole thing all together, but to just to make his own magic and just like push me in the places where he needed some pushing to be done, and to have this kind of like ideas here and there, like for example with some phrase in a song, okay, you did like this sounds cool, but if you just like push this a bit more and lay back there a bit, then we can have different kind of result, and like little things here and there, and that was basically his like 2 cents on this, and he did an awesome job. Yeah.
I saw that you collaborated with him. It's like, that's a nice guy to work with.
yeah, and I was kind of like excited and nervous at the same time, because he's like in a death metal scene, he's a legend. So
yeah. Now, like we've been saying already a couple of times, as like a little bit that this album is like sort of more stripped down, like lyrically, musically. It was also mentioned, I believe, that there's kind of like this 90s spirit running through it all.
Yeah.
What was it about that era of music, or just overall that era, that you want to kind of recapture?
Well, it was basically when death metal and melodic death metal was basically just melodic death metal, and it was the era where this kind of like thing, like, it may have not started in the 90s, but it really like made its mark to the 90s in these metal sub-genres and in the metal genre in general. So we really like to tap on to that vibe also, like to pay respects to those bands that influenced us, and also pay respects to the band that OG was back in the day, but also, like, of course, musically moving forward, because, you know, reminiscence is always a good thing, but for our opinion is that you really can't do things twice. So you have to have like something from the past, something from the future, and remain in the present. This sounds like a cliche, but it is really true.
Yeah.
For OG at least.
Yeah, well, I hope there's a lot of people picking this album up and appreciate your 10th hour, the band's 10th album. I believe that you're gonna be touring this album around quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't recall if there was anything announced yet or soon to be announced.
Yeah, well, we're gonna tour, like, it's released on the 7th of November, and then we're gonna go to North America. We're gonna have some Finnish shows in January.
Yeah, right.
Then we're gonna have a European tour
Yeah.
in February, March, and after that we're gonna have specific Spanish dates also. So there's gonna be a lot of shows. So
Yeah.
and they're all announced, so no worries.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't 100% sure anymore what I had all seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recall now that indeed,
Yeah.
like.
Also, day after tomorrow, for the first time ever, OG is gonna play in Mallorca, in Full Metal Holiday.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
That's weird, but it's cool.
I know some people that have gone there, and they've always been very, very happy about the place.
I can wonder. It lasts for a week. that is Full Metal Holiday.
Yeah, it's basically almost like the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, but
exactly
like on land.
Yeah, in a resort.
Yeah. It always looked quite cool to me.
Fucking A.
All right. Well, like I said, hopefully lots of people pick this up.
Me too.
And like the album.
Yeah.
And hopefully a lot of people come and see you guys when you're on tour. I mean, like you just said,
of course
you're gonna be plenty on the road.
Yes, we love to play live, so
Yeah.
come and share the moment with us.
Yeah. Maybe to wrap this up, I have like a couple of like short questions or easygoing.
Yeah.
Brackets.
Yeah, just shoot.
One word that sums up this album.
Straightforward.
Yeah. Oh, we've been saying it a couple of times, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of more like over the span of your time with OG. What's the most Jukka line of lyrics that you've ever written?
Well, that's a hard one.
Probably, because you've written quite a few lines already.
Well, one of my favorite songs from Grey Heaven's album, Majesty and Silence, opens up with the lyrics, "Guidance of the light, satisfactory," and like, you know, the place is dark enough to make your skin crawl. So that kind of like sums up the whole like, you know, the darkness and the light thing. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
is there like what Finnish bands kind of still inspires you personally the most?
Well, that is a really hard one. I like a lot of Finnish artists, like in general. For example, Ismo Alanko, like a Finnish singer-songwriter, a poet. Like he had a lot of bands back in the day, and still is going like over 60 and going strong and making good new music. He's one. Also, well, Sentenced is not here anymore, but they were always great.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like an inspiration also. There's one band from back in the day, I don't think it exists anymore, called Yearning. That was like a really good, like a different, really different kind of band.
Yeah.
Let's say those three.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then lastly, after a long tour, sauna or silence or both?
Silence.
Silence.
Yeah.
Not a huge sauna fan.
No, not the greatest one. I like it, but sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.